let's go fishing. You know it's really great, let's go fishing. In the rivers and on the lakes, let's go fishing. It's easy when you try, floating on the water with good old Steve and Mike. Floating on the water with good old Steve and Mike.
Hey folks, welcome to the Let's Go Fishing show, and Mike's here with me, and we're glad to be here. Got a lot of rainy weather, bad weather moving in. My daughter Christy and her husband Eric and Wesley, you all seen him on here before. They're out at Fall Creek Falls.
Yeah.
Went out there to camp, and she's called twice there while I was getting ready to go. So we're praying that'll ease off out that way and not cause any damage or any injuries to anybody.
We've had some bad weather for the last couple of weeks here, you know. Our Mr. Bill there, he's had a lot of trouble up there on the hill at his house.
Yeah, they've had, Bill's had the bigger trees was over on his neighbor's side of the house and at the back of the house, and they fell right across his dogwoods.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then Paul Harrison's got a lot of tree trouble at his house, which he lives just a little ways from Bill there, and a lot of other people. I mean, there's trees laid over everywhere.
That's for sure.
So, from last week, and looks like we're fixing to get another round of the same thing. So, and this afternoon at work, the water was a foot deep there on Illinois Avenue, there at the Mitsubishi dealership. There wasn't even hardly anything crawling. So we wound up going back down out of the plant there on Bear Creek and hitting 95 and coming across Blair Road. Mike and I did just to get home. So
Said something about a pole being down out there too.
Yeah. So I mean, it's the ground is, I don't know I hadn't paid any attention to the weather on the TV to see how many inches above normal rainfall that we are. Gotta be above it.
Yeah, he said Oak Ridge got 2 inches there in just a little while.
Yeah. So yeah, it didn't take long. Anyway, like I said, we're hoping everybody makes it through this heavy storm that's to the west of us right now, and hope everything works out.
It's sure been making the grass grow all right.
Oh, I know. Sure, she got the front yard mowed today, and she said I had to mow it on high, you know. I said, why? She said, because it's so thick.
Yeah.
I said, okay, all right, whatever. But you know, got a lot of things going on, and we did have today, old Jeff Parrott, he come in handy for me today. They had a ice cream thing at Edgemore Outdoors, and had Joe Lee coming back in to do another seminar, and it was the seminar he done tonight was on how to keep your fish in good, healthy shape, you know, especially in these tournaments and stuff.
Yeah.
So we'll have some film of that next week, and or whenever. We got elections next Thursday night, so
We'll be out early.
yeah. I guess we better just go ahead and set that up with Brad. He left us here to ponder over it and think about it, whether we wanted to come in at 7 or show a rerun. So we'll let y'all know what we decide here after the first break, and make a decision on whether we're going to be here Thursday at 7 o'clock due to the election, or show a replay. So, but when we decide here in a few minutes, we'll let y'all know when we come back on the air. The fishing Well, I want to say hello to Bill, all you people that's watching, and to Bill and Jeff Parrott. Jeff's home now watching, said he'd be watching the show. And want to make sure we get all that in. Charlie Irwin, I'm hoping you're watching. Mike Pennington. Might get old Mike Pennington to call in and give us a little fishing update after a while.
Be good.
Yeah. But Bill said he'd be watching the show. We had, I'm going to talk just a little bit about, before we get into what little bit of film we got. I had such a good night up there 2 weeks ago that we went back a couple of trips and didn't do all that good. Now that night that Bill and I were fishing, excuse me, on Saturday night, or was it on Friday night? Can't remember. I'll have to pull it up on my camera. Bill, we caught several fish that night. But then Mike and I went back this past weekend, and we only boated. You and Jeff Phillips only caught, what, 6 fish? 5 or 6?
That was weekend before.
You and Gary.
Me and Gary went on Friday night.
Friday night, yeah.
Caught 2, I think, is all we caught.
Yeah, all you caught. I called him after I got off work and said, man, I said, I know you killed them. I said, what are we going to eat? And then he tells me they only caught a couple of fish. I said, son of a gun. So he and I went back up. We got a late start, really, because of the weather. We didn't know whether it was going to get wet before we got there or after we got there. But anyway, I think we wound up with 6 fish. So the bite was a lot harder to get.
It was.
Yeah. So, but we're hopefully stay at it and may get a chance to go this weekend, hopefully, and see if we can figure them back out. I mean, when the moon was coming full, or during the dark nights before the moon came out this month, why we done pretty good.
Sure did.
In the dark, and but this past weekend, like I said, wasn't much pumpkin. I was really disappointed in our trip.
Backside of that moon and everything, and it was late night, 4 o'clock or so before it even come up.
Yeah, that's right. So do remember Edgemore Outdoors, and because like I said, they had a big thing up there this afternoon. I wished I could have got there, but it just wasn't any way. But got a hold of Jeff, and he said, yeah, I'll go get what film I can get and have it ready for us next week. So we'll see. All righty. Mike, anything else?
Yeah, I tell you, it was surprising to me up there that we had 4 boats come down. It didn't have no running lights on out there in the pitch black dark. And then, I guess 30 minutes or an hour later, 2 jet skis come around up in Big Ridge with no lights on, passing a pontoon boat. That's surprising to me that there's so many people up there that ain't trying to be safe. And then you wonder how come these people have problems. It seems like every weekend you go up there, you see that same problem with them boats running around without even running lights on.
Yeah. It's late in the night. Well, 10 o'clock or so. They were still, and they were out there running around. We could hear them, and had a pretty good idea of where they were headed. And behind us is all we mattered to us. But yeah, we got some people that's running around in the dark without their lights on. And that's not a good thing.
It sure ain't. I mean, even though you got yours on, you wouldn't see them. You'd done run over them.
Yeah. So that comes back to having, safety check and making sure you got your lights, on and that kind of thing. That's one of the things, prepping the boat for a fishing trip is when we pull up to the ramp, we just, it's A, B, C, and D, and you carry right on. You put the back light in its position on the back of the boat, and you turn the running lights on, making sure the front's burning and the back's burning.
Yep.
Along with 4 or 5 other things, make sure you got the plug in the in the boat at the back, and so you don't launch one and the thing gets full of water.
Oh yeah.
Before I've done that a couple of times so far in my lifetime. I hope I don't do it again, but years back, Sherry and I got off work early, and we went down to Little Emery and put the boat in, and about noon, and shucks, it was cold weather. I mean, so I put the boat in the water and let her idle up there to pick me up, and so I said, "Why you steer while I'm tying her baits on?" Was putting on some grubs and hair flies, for the crappie and stuff, and shucks, the next thing I know, the dang floorboard was full of water.
Yeah.
And I said, get up, I told her to get up, and I jumped in the seat and gunned the motor right quick and ran down at the pier there going out of Little Emery, and concrete pier there, and I just put the front of the boat up on that little old sandbar right there.
Yeah.
Jerked my coveralls and stuff back off, my warm jacket and everything, and I laid my side of my face got wet where I was reaching back into the back of that thing to put the plug in.
That's a long reach.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. And so she said, she started, what's wrong? I said, the plug's not in the back, So we got, I turned the bilge pump on, took off down there to the pier, and hit that little old sandbar right there to the right of it, and beached the boat, and got down the water and put the plug in.
Yeah.
Let's see here what we got. Hello, caller.
Hey,
Yeah.
Steve, Mike, Larry Melton from Rockwood, down in the slums. Want you to know, enjoy your show. I was calling to see, what have you heard about the trolling motor?
What do you mean, Charlie?
Well, the one drawing that Reynolds is...
They discontinued it. They give everybody their money back because they didn't have enough people to sign up for it.
Oh, me. Well, I need to go by there, I
Yeah.
guess. I hadn't went by. And, well, I hate that. I was needing one here for long, probably.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll let you go. Want you to know, enjoy your show.
Well, I appreciate that, but that's what happened. And I went ahead or my wife went ahead and bought me one for Christmas. So I just used I think it was 3. I bought how the ticket, whatever the price was for you got
5 for 100.
for 5 for 100 or something like that. Anyway, I had a couple $100 tied up in it, and he took that off the bill for the trolling motor. But I like that trolling motor.
Yeah.
Why I got
it looks like a good one to me.
Yeah, why I got you on there, it's the only thing that I had to do to it, I had to put some black tape over those lights up on the top of it. They was so daggum bright, so I left just a little bit of the front arrow showing so that it wouldn't blind me, and we got it taped up. Like I said, I put some black electrical tape over all the rest of them lights on it. If you're fishing strictly daytime, it's perfect for it because it's not, it's not going to get that bright. But us night fishing, I went the first trip of night fishing with it. I learned right quick. I said, this can't work. I said, we got to come up with some kind of plan to cover them lights up. And sure enough, we did. Took some little short pieces of electrical tape and stuck on them, and I just got just a little bit sticking out and tells you just, pointing wherever you're headed with it, and works fine.
All right. Well, if I ever get lucky enough to get one, I'll remember that.
Yeah, if you're going to night fish, you'll want to cover them up. Guarantee it, because it's like turning on a neon sign when they're not covered up.
Well, it ain't.
Oh, me.
It ain't much different. I bought that Minn Kota, and it had lights on the paddle down there that I had to partially cover them up to keep them from blinding you. Plus the one that's on the motor frame down there itself, I had to put one on it to kind of knock the light off.
I looked at yours when you was down there the Wattsbar Dam fishing once.
Yeah.
When he was down there crappie fishing, I guess, or something. Yeah.
No, you just had that little tournament down there.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I went down there and watched his way in, and he was showing me that trolling motor.
Yeah. Mike's got a good motor, but I wanted to stay with the Lowrance and that kind of stuff. His self-deploys. He can throw his boat off the trailer, go park the truck, come back, and that thing's still sitting right out there where he parked it, and call it right into the ramp and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's more high-tech than what I wanted.
Yeah, golly, I got it. I'm so old, I got stuff now I don't know how to operate.
Yeah. Me and you both.
Well, hey, thank you a lot.
All right, buddy. Good to hear from you.
Yes, sir.
See you, man.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
It was funny there when I throwed the boat in the water there the other week and pulled it out there and spot locked it down and went up there to park the truck and come back and hear that boy come running down the ramp. He looked like he was 17, 18-year-old. Said, buddy, I need to swim out there and get your boat. I said, no, I got it right here. Turned it around and brought it right over to me. He
Yeah.
said, I thought you'd lost it.
I'm not for sure. I have not read all the stuff
Yeah.
out of the book, but I think some way or another you're supposed to be able to go through your iPhone into my trolling motor, and it won't self-deploy, but you can
Run it around.
Yeah.
Spot lock it, whatever. Right
whatever
there.
it needs there. Yeah. So we're enjoying it. It's it is quiet, and like I say, it's perfect for daytime fishing. But when it comes to the night fishing, like we fish year round anyway, so we had to cover up the lights on mine. It was just so dadgum bright, you couldn't stand to look at it which way you was going.
That's for sure.
So, but I really do like the trolling motor, like those arrows, the directional arrows that's on the top of it. Mike's got them on his too, and you get used to things, and you don't want to change it.
No.
You don't want to change it, and because we know right where everything's at.
Well, when you had cable jobs, when you put your foot on a trolling motor, you pretty much know which way it was going.
Yeah, you did. There's that tension. But on these new trolling motors, there's no tension on the paddle. It's just free floating.
Yeah.
And so that extra motor up on top is what steers it. 360. And so that's a good thing. I mean, I'm tickled to death to have it, for sure. Anyway, we'll move right along. The trolling motor is a big part of your fishing. That's the deal. And back to that. And now they got these. We put a flip-up plug in the drain back there on my boat and Mike's boat, and they also make one that you put inside the boat that you don't have to worry about. Water will run out of it, but none will come in. And so if you're getting a new boat, that's something you might want to look at. But Sherry and I, we went up to Norris one Tuesday evening to fish a tournament up there, and and put in over at Anderson County Park. Went over to Rainbow and paid her money. And I don't know, something just told me, first place we ran up from Rainbow all the way to Big Ridge Hollow. And I just got to thinking, I said, when you put that plug in the back of the boat, did you flip that little old handle up? She said, no, I didn't know you were supposed to. I said, oh, Lordy. So there I was, back down in behind the motor again. And when my hand touched that plug, it fell out in my hand. Mm-hmm. And I come up and I said, I got to put the plug in. I said, you didn't flip. What happened was she didn't flip that latch up on it and make it stay in the boat, so it fell out in my hand, and I went right back down the water with it and stuck the plug in and flipped it up. Come back up, and I was soaking wet, hair and face, because I had my head about under the water. And she said, what are we going to do? I said, I got it fixed. I said, we're going to go to fishing. I said, just let the bilge pump run there for a few minutes and we'll be fine. So, you know, them little things like that'll happen, but you really want to be careful with that drain plug in the back of your boat. Make sure it's secure and in there like it's supposed to be, because that's a bad lick. We were standing on the dock up there at Hickory Star one afternoon. We was up there with Bill and I don't remember who I was there, but this guy had put his boat in, and he come idling through the, beside the boat dock there, and the marina, and he wasn't gone, 5 or 10 minutes or so, and man, he come back in there running half throttle, and buddy, people screaming and hollering and carrying on. He was hollering, "Get my trailer! Get my trailer!"
Yeah.
Yeah, and he wound up putting it up on the blacktop there at the boat ramp at Hickory Star, and went and got his trailer, and had his bilge pump running, water flying everywhere. He got his trailer in the water, got on it and run it up on the trailer and pulled up and drained everything out. We left him after that. Don't know what happened. So, yeah, just want to make sure you got your 4 or 5 different things you have to do, and before you put it in the water.
Yeah.
Because it don't take but a little bit.
No.
All right. Let's see.
Them boys down there in that Norse craft that morning, we launched and went over and tied up close to them there. And the one that drove the boat over there, he didn't say nothing about it either. And they went up there in the restaurant and was eating breakfast.
Oh, yeah.
It sunk right there.
I remember
tied
that.
up to the dock. All you could see was the back running light sticking up.
Yeah.
And stuff, all their stuff floating around there and everything. Yeah, they forgot to put the plug in it. And
yeah. They tied the front off, and they run up there in the, at the, actually, they had sporting goods. They had fishing supplies and cooked the breakfast and lunch and dinner in there. Mm-hmm. And they went in there that morning to eat their breakfast. And the time I got there, Mike got there before I did. The time I got in there, all it was the rope. Front rope was tied up.
Yeah.
You couldn't see the boat.
I remember some guy that was the next man getting in the tournament, and he showed up that morning just in case somebody had trouble, and yeah, they had trouble.
Yeah. Two ways about it.
He got to fish.
Yeah. Okay, Chandler, put us on a little bit of fishing film, will you, buddy? That gunfish is poor, but he's close to 20 inches, ain't he, Mike?
Every bit of it.
Yeah, buddy. Let me get my light off of it. It may be a little bit too much. Yeah, buddy. That's a good one, Mike. Dang dandy.
Let him go back and get bigger.
Yeah, all right. That's a good number 1.
He's a nice one there.
Yep.
That's a fat slicking, as Bill said, yeah.
Yeah, boy.
Real nice.
All right, back in the water.
Back in the water. Okay, Steve got one there. Nice smallmouth. Small one.
Yeah. You sure you got record in there?
Yeah, got record on it now.
Okay. All right, back in the water he goes.
Okay.
Take off, buddy.
All right, Steve. Got him another good little smallmouth there. He's
Yeah.
mad and mean, that's for sure.
That's a fact, Mike. Sure is.
Yeah.
All right, we'll get him back in the water.
Back in the water, too.
Bill said we'll throw him over on that other side where he
There
can
you go.
catch these others up.
All right, that was Mike and I. I thought we'd caught another fish or two besides that. May have. I'm awful bad about, I put the camera out there and then forget to turn the daggum thing on record.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but Mike, those fish, they were in that 25 foot of water.
Yeah.
Sitting,
You know, lost 4 or 5 and had several other little old hits, but they just didn't seem like they wanted to bite too good.
no, they didn't. They didn't seem like they wanted to bite really well. They sure didn't. It was a slow process to get we had as many bites as we had fish in the boat, but still it wasn't what we were wanting to do and anticipated and figured we could do, but it just didn't work out that way. I was, like I said, heck, it was 8 o'clock before we got on the road to go.
Yeah, and you caught most yours on that black.
Yeah, black jig and black trailer with that gold flake in it.
Yeah.
And I was catching them on that before the moon got up, a month ago,
Yeah.
and in the dark, and they bit pretty good. So I went back to that, and instead of the black with the red, I throwed it a little bit. I had 2 rods laid out there, the black and black, and then had that black with the red in the back of it, and that we caught fish on the week before, but they wouldn't touch it.
Wouldn't touch it.
Wouldn't touch it. I mean, shoot, there's something wrong here. So I throwed the black and black and caught 2 or 3 on it, and missed 2 or 3 more, but that doesn't count. But anyway, they would hit it, but they wouldn't hit that black and red. And the week before that, heck, that's when I had or 2 weeks before that, I had such a good trip. And caught all them back-to-back casts, and then Bill on Saturday night, he had 5 back-to-back casts. So on the black and red, and I mean, that's what I'm saying. Them son of a guns up there, that water's so clear. One night they want this, the next night they want something else, and the next night they want something besides that.
Yeah.
I mean, the
They
light
sure do.
factor has a whole lot to do with it.
Yeah. You get a wind or a cloud cover or
Yeah.
something, it just changes the whole thing.
No 2 ways about it. And so if you think you're just going to force feed them with one color, unless you pick the right color, you ain't going to do it, or you're not going to do it. Now, if you pick the right color, if they're wanting, yeah, you're going to catch them. And but it is for us. It's always that color. What are we throwing at them that they're not biting, and get down in the bottom of the boat, tie on a different color. And the last few years, watermelon has been probably one of the best colors that we've thrown. But this year, I don't think I've caught more than 2 or 3 fish on the watermelon.
Yeah.
And that used to be what are you going to throw? Heck, I'm going to throw that watermelon, and but it's not. So 3 years ago, heck, you couldn't knock them off of it.
That's right.
And it's just got slower and slower with it. And I don't understand how or why.
Yep.
And so it's, we have to have, and the black and blue come in, was a good color there back 3 or 4 weeks ago. Caught several fish on it, and I threw it some up there Saturday night. Never got a bite on it.
Yeah.
So they're finicky. I mean, the son of a guns. The fish are, to me, they look a lot healthier than they've been in a while. And like Bill says, they're big, fat, nice slickings.
Yes, sir.
You know, they are getting some weight on them. They're looking a lot healthier, and we're catching a little better size.
Yeah, that's right.
On them. So it's a trial and error up there. I mean, and another thing, shoot, we used to take a dang one of the while back, that dang peanut butter and jelly was a good jig to throw. You know.
Yeah, and the copper crawl was hot there for several months.
And it went away. I don't think we've caught a fish on a copper crawl yet that I can think of.
Right.
No. So there's plenty of fish in there. Jeff Parrott's going over there in the morning, him and his brother, and they're going to start at 6 o'clock. He said they're going to be in the water at 6 o'clock and see what they can come up with, and in the early morning fishing, and go from there. But you know, it's like, I mean, I just don't know how to describe it any better. If you're not getting a bite on something, change it.
Yeah.
Till you find out what they do want to bite.
And I talked to my neighbor there. He got a pontoon boat up there, Brogan's Holler, somewhere up there, about 33. And of course, he just daytime fishes.
Yeah.
But he said, man, they're killing them fish up there. Daytime.
On Norse?
On Norse.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can't argue that at all.
There may be some colored water up there too.
I'm sure way up the lake there's got to be.
Yep.
With all the rainfall we've had. And that's another thing too. We had the lake on a drawdown there about a month ago, and got it down 2 or 3 feet. But right now it's back full pool.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Bushes are still in the water, and the whole 9 yards. Yeah, you don't back just a little ways down the ramp there, point 19, and you're already in the water.
In the water.
Boat
again.
length, truck length is about it, and you're in the water.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you know, I don't know. Naturally, I'd like for it to be on down a little farther, but it is what it is, and we just have to put up with it and try to figure out how to get to catching them again.
Well, you have 86, 87 water temperature.
Yeah.
Friday night it was 88, 89. So that rain that come through cooled it down just a little bit.
Yeah. And shoot, the fish, when you get one in, he's warm as toast, and your bait's warm as toast.
Oh yeah, yes.
Yeah. Hello, caller.
Hey, Bill.
Hey, Ed, what's up?
Hey.
Yes, sir.
Hey,
Right.
tell Bill not to feel like the Lone Ranger. It looks like a FEMA disaster out here at my place.
Well, I hate to hear that, Ed. I really do. Yeah, Bill, go ahead.
An oak tree fell through the top of my boat barn that had no roof on it, see? And it put about an 8-foot gaping hole in that thing.
Gee.
And then I didn't even know it, but it was filling my boat up. See, I had left the plug in it the last time I went.
Yeah?
And it got up over my batteries and my oil reservoir.
Oh, man.
And I don't know if it affected my gas tanks or anything else, but Jerry said bring it up there to him Monday and he'd check it out.
Well,
But it was probably 3 foot of water inside the boat. It was like a wading pool in there. So.
gee whiz. Man, that doesn't
That's the
sound...
reason I leave my plug in. Is I don't
Yeah.
want to do what you've done a couple of times. I've done that too, you know.
Yeah.
In and have the
Yep,
plug out of it. And so if there ain't no water in the bilge on there, I just leave it in there.
right. I
And
hear
it
you.
rained. I bet you it rained 10 inches out there that night.
Gee whiz. Well, I
That's
hope.
Wednesday night.
Yeah. Well, you know, our batteries, I don't think you'll have to worry about the batteries because if the acid's not, you know, coming out of it when you're charging it or nothing, it probably not any water got in that. But your oil reservoir, if it was underwater, possibly, but it should have leaked. You should have caught a leak there, you know, by putting more oil in it at some point in time. So you may not be hurt. And then I don't know how. Yeah,
I think I got away with it, but I'm gonna have him.
I would
Investigate.
Yeah, I definitely would do that for sure.
But you know what I think I ruined was my onboard charger. Came with that boat. It's like 25 years old.
Yeah.
It acts funny, you know, like I think I ruined it.
Well, now that's a good possibility. That's a good possibility right there. If it ain't acting right, then it's probably got water in it. And
Was it still charging whenever it rained it full?
Well, see, it was, but now
Yeah.
that leader that's going to my Kraken battery was blinking. Like, you know, I think maybe I shorted it out. I don't know.
yeah.
Yeah, if it was on charge, had electricity running to it, while that water come up on it, it's a possibility it messed it up.
Well, no, I wasn't charging it. You know, it was unplugged and everything. It was just open to the weather.
Yeah. Well, dang it, Ed. Have you got all your trees cleaned up?
No, I got about 6 big oaks and 1 big poplar, and it's a mess. They couldn't even get in here to fix my power because there's a big oak tree across the driveway.
Jeez, that gum, Ed.
It was a mess, man.
Yeah, I hear you. It don't sound worth a hoot. I'll tell you. I hope you be careful fooling with them logs if you're doing it yourself.
Well, we're gonna try to let the insurance people, you know, have the Pork Street come up here and look at it.
10-4. I think that's a good idea there too.
Well, I quit taking up all your time. I just want to tell you about that.
Oh, you ain't taking up our time. We're glad to hear from you.
All right, then.
All right,
Be
Ed.
good.
All right, man. Be safe, buddy. Be careful.
Okay.
All right, see you, buddy. All right. Okay, Chandler, take us to a sponsor break, will you? Hey, folks, here at Tim's Tires, there's the times that they're open. The day, you know, that's 5 days a week. They're open from 8 to 12:30 on Saturdays. All right, folks, we're inside here in the warehouse. Just wanted to give you a quick look at all the tires and stuff they got. And here we are. There's some four-wheeler tires, lawnmower tires, just a mixture of about any kind of tire you want. So keep that in mind. Then here we get into the light truck, automobiles, that kind of thing. So just walk through here and give you a quick look at what they've got in stock here. I mean, you know, it's it's just, I don't know, man. They must be a couple of thousand tires in here right now, if not more. Sizes, shapes. You truckers, you know the word. This is the place to get your tires for your trucks. And these over here, getting a little bigger sizes. Light trucks, heavier automobiles, this kind of thing. And as you can just see back through there, it's just, heck, I don't know, this building's probably about 300 feet, one end to the other, and they're wall to wall. Remember Tim's Tires, folks. That's down here on Highway 27 on your way into Harriman, and get the best deals they're going. So give them a call, price check, whatever you want to, and if you want a special tire that they might not have, you could, they'll definitely get it for you. Tim's Tires. Let people know what we represent.
That's what we're all about. we do try to do an honest day's work for the people, and we've got operators from all over the DOE sites, TDA sites, the outside contractors. We're just about everywhere you see a heavy piece of equipment, good chance that you'll see an operating engineer on it, whether it be Barnhard, I'd like to mention them, All Crane, and all of them that's signatory to us. We have over 100 contractors that's signatory to us, so I definitely appreciate those guys all the way in Chattanooga, Kingsport, Tullahoma, throughout all the way up to Johnson City. So we do cover a big area, and just let us know if we can be any help to the local contractors that come through these areas. We'll definitely send you some people.
All right, David. I appreciate all those good words, and we'll get this on the air, and I want to thank you again.
Thank you.
All right. All right, here we are back. Okay. Chandler's we got a Lady Eagles softball fishing tournament going on November the 19th, 2022. Douglas Lake Dandridge Ramp. Entry fee $100 per boat. First place pays back $1,500. 10 optional big fish. $10 for optional big fish to get in, largemouth and smallmouth. All proceeds go to Gibbs Lady Eagles softball team in their quest for the program's 11th state championship. Safe flight to 3:30. Must be off plane. No fishing within 100 yards of the boat ramp or will be disqualified. All TWRA rules and regulations will apply. Life jackets must be worn while outboard engine is in operation. 5 bass limit, no dead fish. Register the morning of the tournament beginning at 5 a.m. For questions or to pre-register, you may contact Justin Kick at 865-335-4367 or austinkick@gmail.com. It says door prizes will be given away. Raffle tickets will be sold for prizes, tackle packs, and guide trips. All right. There you go. About as good as you can get it.
You got that little bit of film I had? Let's check it out.
How many minutes? If I got minutes to get a drink out of the machine?
Maybe.
Wait till Chandler gets us on that film that you had, and then we'll go.
All right. Moose got him one there. If he can catch him again.
Come here.
Nice smallmouth.
Yeah.
Real nice smallmouth. Yes, sir.
I got it on that red bug.
Got it on the red bug.
Yeah. Oh, come out our hook.
Hold on a minute. Let me. Okay. Yeah, there he is. I can get that hook out of him. Yeah, got him on the red bug. Yeah.
How many pliers, Mike?
Need a needle nose on him out. Okay.
Get over with it. Come here. Yeah. You can cut the hook off what you had it for. Be still. It's right through that bone, Mike.
There you now. Going back here. All right.
Yep.
Throw a few more licks, see if we can find something else. All right. Gary's got him another one on here, boy. That's a nice one. I see him coming in there.
I ain't gonna do what I did a minute ago.
What?
I ain't gonna try to lift him up with my rod.
Huh. Yeah, that's a real nice molly there. Oh, goodness gracious. You better light on that rascal. Yeah.
Come here, good boy.
Yeah, that's a real nice molly.
Come out there, Hook.
All right. Yeah, real pretty small mouth. Yeah. Yeah. You'd be close to making 18 inches.
Yep.
He's a long one. Nice one. All right.
Thinks already got another hook in him.
Huh?
He's got a hook in him.
Has he?
Oh gosh, you fish, you got that hook in my finger. Trying to help you, old boy. You're trying to hook me.
You better get the needle nose. I don't think them hooks stick too good in them needle nose.
Looks like he's got a bait hook in him. Like a minnow hook.
Yeah, probably does.
That swallowed it, Mike. See?
Yeah. Huh. Well.
That's gonna cut that. But
You got your hook out, didn't you?
yeah, I got my hook in.
Okay.
He's got two of them in him.
Got two of them in you, huh?
Yeah.
He's gone. All right. That sounds good. We gotta ease on down here and try another place. All right. Yeah,
Okay.
That's my Uncle Gary there. He was throwing a 3/16 sinker and a 2/0 hook, Texas rig, and was fishing that little bitty, looked like what they call it, caterpillar job there.
You sure it wasn't heck, what's those bugs? Heck, I can't think of it now.
Anyway, I fished one up there with you. I caught that them two fish on it up there on Saturday night, and it was a red bug centipede.
Yeah.
What it got? I took that Z-hog off and put that centipede up on that lead head there and throw it, and it wasn't just a few minutes. Caught that first one on it, and then later on I caught another one on it there. Your camera didn't get it, but anyway, why in the world they was hitting that thing, I have no idea. But it got to where I couldn't get a bite on it Saturday night later on, so I went over to that black and had a couple of strikes on it. But, yeah, it was pretty tough last weekend. The whole floor of the boat was plumb covered up with baits that we'd been trying on Friday night.
Right.
And, we stayed there about 2:30, 3 o'clock, trying them out, you know. And, he just kept asking me, said, "What's wrong with these fish? What's wrong with these fish?" I said, "Well, you just ain't giving them what they want."
Yeah. That's.
So we just kept trying different things and never did find anything
That they really wanted.
That they really wanted, yeah.
Yep. I hear you. I mean, we've known that for a long time. You just gotta keep changing around till you find out something they want.
Yeah, I tried the black and red, tried the solid black, and different colors of watermelon, and browns and different things like that, and I never could find nothing.
Well, you know, that what you just said, that brown, shucks, man. A brown jig, what happened?
I don't know.
I mean, that was all you needed.
That's right. That's right. That's
A black or a brown.
Right.
And fish it day and night.
Yeah.
And catch fish on it. And now I can't buy a bite on a brown jig.
No. Nope.
And just for the heck of it, if I get back up there this weekend, I'm gonna put one on and just throw it out there and see how many casts I have to make to get a bite on it.
Yeah.
I don't know. And you know, and I know, and you do it many a time, getting down there and prowl around on the side of the boat ramp and find out what color the crawdads are. And they're all, a lot of the smaller crawdads are always brown.
Yeah.
And or at least the ones that's up there shallow's brown that you're shaking up there on the side of the boat ramp. But I can't get it, you know. I don't even tie one on anymore. But the black, I always like to use black up there and start out with it, especially when it's dark, you know. So I don't know. It's always something different. It seems like every year, every summer, it's something different that we really do good on. You know, we have a lot of a lot of nights that we don't, or some nights that we don't do so good. So, but most of the time we finally figure it out and get on the right color. And once you do that, it seems to last for, you know, 2 or 3 weeks at a time.
Yeah.
So, but heck, I can't remember when I caught a fish on a brown jig in a long time. And I always had that pumpkin seed trailer on it.
Yeah.
You know, and that kind of thing. Hello, caller.
Hey, Steve, Jeff Parrott and Paul Parrott here.
Hey, how we doing, guys?
We're doing good. We're getting ready to go after them in the morning. You guys are doing a good show tonight, and just want to tell you that we've got some real good video there for Joe Lee tonight. He, without kind of giving everything away, he gave a good presentation this evening on keeping your fish live and well for tournament.
Yeah. That's a big plus right there, because they want to penalize you for a dead fish. Those that do weigh them in, most people won't even weigh them in anymore.
Yeah, he gave a real good one. There was quite a few folks over there at your sponsor, and I got some good video. They had some good homemade ice cream, chocolate and vanilla, and a lot of people came by there to sample the ice cream. And Joe had a big crowd there tonight. Gave a real good presentation. Talked a lot about various techniques on how to keep your bass alive for tournaments, which included the process of what they call fizz.
Yeah.
I guess it's when they let the air bladders out of the fish, and
right.
so forth, and talked about techniques on your aerator and your live well. It was really good, and I'll try to put together some stuff for you and edit the video, and you and Mike will have a little bit of footage there for next weekend, along with what Paul and I, my brother, can do tomorrow. We're going to try to do a little walleye, and we're going to try to do some smallmouth fishing.
Man, that sounds good, Jeff. We'll be looking forward to it. Now why I got you on here now. Next week's show will be at 7 o'clock due to the election.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, that's right. That's right. I'll try to get it down there and drop it off to you, Steve, before that time, so you'll have plenty, and I'll write down the number of minutes that are on that video clip there of each of them. Hopefully, Paul and I can get some additional footage for you there tomorrow. I know that some of mine and your buddies are going to be out there in the morning. Jake from Lake City and Brian from down your way are going to be there.
Yeah, good, buddy. That sounds good. For sure. We'll be looking forward to it, getting what footage you got for me. I really appreciate you doing that, and I knew it'd be a good show. Joe does a real good job on those seminars, and I know that dang ice cream had to be real good too.
It's real good. I had a double share of it for sure, Mike,
Yeah.
or Steve. But anyway, listen, let me let you and Mike wind the show down, and let me jump off here, and we'll see what we can do about catching some on Norris in the morning, and we'll sit back and watch you guys finish the show. Y'all have a good evening.
Hey, thank you a lot, Jeff. Appreciate that, and I'll give you a call there tomorrow sometime or Saturday one about how you done and this kind of thing, because Bill's chomping at the bits to go, and I'm ready too. If the weather will let us, we're going to try to fish some this weekend.
That sounds good. We'll have a phone on. Just call and check in with us tomorrow. Thanks again, Steve. You and Mike have a good night.
All right. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it, buddy. All right. That's old Jeff there. He's helping us out every way that he can. But I'm interested to see if they do any good in the morning. I heard that they were catching some fish up there.
Yeah, that's what my neighbor told me.
Early, so I don't know. Here we are catching them 25, 30 foot, and a lot of people catching them in there 5, 10 foot, which that's fine. I'm glad to hear it. But it's all about the daylight and the dark.
They won't stay up in that hot water long.
No.
They'll be up there and feed a little and then get back out of it.
Yeah, that's for sure.
This time last year and stuff, you could see where they would drop off.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Deeper.
All right, I'm going to try something here right quick, and I'll get Mike to help me. I brought this big, heavy orange string so you folks at home could see it. Usually, the eye on my bait, you have to go through one side of the eye, come back through the eye, head it out the other direction, get you some slack there, and I bring this over. Now get your arm out of the way, Mike. Bring this over and do this right here. This is called a Palomar knot, and you pull that down, and you kind of wet it a little bit with some saliva, and then you take this loop right here over the bait, and you pull this tag in back through that right there, just like that. And then when you pull this down, hold that thing, Mike, and you pull this through here,
that rope won't slide.
That rope won't slide with it. I probably got it too tight. Anyway, that pulls that dang loop through there, if I can get it loosened up, and it's not going to do it, is it? I'm some gun. I thought I'd bring that and it'd work just fine, but it ain't going to work. That's the start without the finish of a Palomar knot, and that's personally, that's what I tie. Mm-hmm. I mean, the spinner bait, jig head, top water, whatever that's what I do. That's what the knot I tie, and I can't complain a bit about it. And we've seen several of these guys on TV testing these knots and that kind of stuff, and that one right there holds up about as good as they are.
Yeah. Knot wars thing they used to have on there,
Yeah.
talk about it and stuff.
Got 2 minutes.
That's about as strong a knot as you can get.
Yeah. All righty. Get your string. Most of the spools are string line, 300-yard spools or what have you. It's got a little book with them in the box. It's got 4 or 5 different knots, and that's one of them. And that's the knot I tie. And don't get me wrong, I've had a few broke lines, but I couldn't swear that they broke at the knot because it would be a clean break.
Yeah.
Okay, we're down to a minute and a half. God bless you all. Have a good, safe week, the rest of it. And if you're out on the water, make sure you be safe. Keep your running lights on if you're out after dark. And we'll see y'all next week.
let's go fishing. You know it's really great, let's go fishing. In the rivers and on the lakes, let's go fishing. It's easy when you try, floating on the water with good old Steve in mind. Floating on the water.